We're in open session, Your Honor.
Thank you very much. And thank you, witness, for joining us. You will be administered your oath of testimony. Can you read what's on the card?
Yes, I can read.
Thank you. If you can proceed, please, and read it out.
I solemnly declare that I will speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Thank you very much for joining us, and welcome. As I had said to the previous witnesses who testified, when I say welcome, I say that not because you should be a stranger to the courtroom. This courtroom belongs to you, as it does to us. It is a public courtroom. You've been given your oath, and what we expect of you is just that, to tell us nothing but the truth. To do that, it is important that you listen carefully to the questions the lawyers would ask you. Make sure you understand the questions before you start answering. And when you answer, please try and limit yourself to only what you know and what you recall. Try not to guess at answers you do not know. If you do not understand the question, please ask for it to be repeated, and the question will be repeated. You are now in public session. There will be times when we will have to go into private session, and the reason why we do that is to protect your identity. The court has granted you certain protection measures, the point of which is to protect your identity from being exposed to members of the public who will be listening to your testimony. And for this to work correctly, it is important that you listen carefully to the questions the lawyers are asking and to respond to those questions only, because the lawyers know that you are protected and they know not to ask you questions that would elicit the sort of information that will reveal your identity. That is why it's important to answer only the questions. Try not to do follow-up answers they've not asked you for. But if you must give follow-up information, please bear in mind not to expose your identity while doing that. There is one more practical matter. If you look up there, you will see interpreters and then court reporters. Their job is to record your testimony carefully. It is important that you speak slowly and in manageable chunks of information so that they can interpret correctly and also report correctly. Also, try to observe a pause between questions you're asked and your commencement of your answer. That will also help in recording your answer accurately. Thank you very much. And then Mr. Steinberg would now begin his examination in chief. Mr. Steinberg is the lead prosecution counsel. When he finishes asking you his questions, then the lawyers on the defense side will ask you questions. On this occasion, would it be the Ruto defense that will begin, or would it be the Mr. Sang's defense counsel? Anyway, they're seated on that side. They will take turns in asking you questions when the prosecution is done. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Your Honour. Good afternoon, Mr. Witness.
Afternoon to you.
As His Honour has explained, I will be asking you questions this afternoon and tomorrow on behalf of the prosecution. Your Honour, I propose to commence the examination of this witness with some background information, which is of an identifying nature. I hope that much of, in fact, the majority of this witness's evidence, with the assistance of the protected information sheet, will be able to take place in open session. But I do request that for the first approximately 20 minutes we commence with a private session so I can elicit identifying information, potentially identifying information.
We will do that. And Mr. Steinberg, I do recall that at some point there had been the suggestion made that identifying information could be dealt with by way of the PIS method. I
Yes.
don't know if you're here, so that we don't have to spend something like 20 minutes asking questions if they're already on the PIS, and all the witness needs to do is to read over and confirm that those are identifying information, and then we tender them, with the exception of when you really, really, for a particular reason, feel that you want to elicit such sort of information on the record. That would be a way to cut down on the time we spend not only in the examinations generally, but also the time we will spend in closed session.
Thank you, Your Honour. I'm not sure if that was conveyed to me in its entirety. I've compiled the PIS sheet for this witness in the same way we have in the past. It comprises mainly just of names. What I didn't want to start doing is putting chunks of evidence that should more appropriately be laid on the record in this sheet. I presume that's not what Your Honour is suggesting.
That is not what I have in mind.
Yes.
What I have in mind is, as is often the case in examination in chief of witnesses, first things lawyers would ask is, your name is this, and you live here, and your age this, and all that. I'm saying if this is the sort of information we want to do in closed session, it is the sort of thing that's best done in the PIS, in a PIS. That's what I mean.
Thank you, Your Honour. The point is taken. That is not what I had in mind. I have used the PIS, and if Your Honour will allow me, I think it will become clearer.
Fair
It's more
enough.
just the background information.
Fair enough, fair enough. So we go then into closed session.
Perhaps while we're
Private-
doing
private
that, if I
session.
may ask the court officer to hand out copies of the bundles that I've prepared.
And